Welcome to Norway. Today we are test driving one of the first, maybe even the first King Long that ever arrived to this country. This is King Long U12E. Today we will test drive this vehicle that we never seen before and never tried before. So we are excited to go on board, and it is a Chinese bus, and you think maybe, is this a coach? No, it's actually a class 2 bus. So it's perfect for intercity or even city bus in a little smaller city. And now we are taking it out on the road to see how it feels, how it is to drive. Is it spacious? Do they have any space at all for luggage? We have many questions because we don't know the vehicle, and there's only one way to find out. So now join me while I'm taking this one out on the road. Welcome on board this King Long U12E. Well, this is the first time I'm seated behind the steering wheel, so I really need to take a little look around me before I hit the road. Yeah, we see that we have some nice armrests here. And the first impression when I see this driver's bed is this door. What is this? It feels like I'm a prisoner and I need to sit behind this door. I never ever enjoyed these doors at all. I don't think any one of the Norwegian drivers are very happy to sit behind this cage to drive. Of course, we have the little seat belt here. And now I see that we have a big screen here to my right. It draws my attention quite immediately because it's very bright, and I'm already now afraid of that will blind me somehow when I'm out on the road. I really hope that you can turn it off somehow. Yes, that was quite easy. So, multimedia screen, very big, and there other brands can also try to come after, because there is improvements to be made for European brands as well with the infotainment system. To my right, all the way down to the floor, we have the tachograph, and I think that's a little bit bad placement for the tachograph. I want to see it, I want to control it, and I like to see the information that the tachograph provides me. Over there we have some buttons. They have green bright LEDs inside, and the door buttons, they are red with some bright red LEDs inside. Behind the steering wheel we have some buttons. It's the ABS, you can turn it off. You also have the hill hold, and you also have the regular ACC/CC button. I'm not quite sure what it means, but it also is the activator here for the wheelchair lift that we have in the middle door. And I need to see the steering wheel, because when I last looked at it, I placed the steering wheel somewhere. Now it moved. So this steering wheel, look, it lives its own life. So here I'm talking about buttons and things are moving while I'm talking. So fascinating system. Behind the dancing steering wheel we have the display, and now we are back in China. It's more information in this display than we have in the Norwegian government's book of laws. It's green, it's red, it's graphic moving, it's numbers, it's temperatures, it's voltages, it's time, it's how much lights, it's even the diesel tank for the diesel heater, and you also have all the battery capacity. I get almost seasick when I look at this display, and I cannot understand. We have been talking about this for years, that all Chinese manufacturers and brands are having these systems, and I don't even want to touch these buttons for the menu system because they are on the display. Don't do that while driving, because when I tried this in another Chinese company once, I turned everything into the Chinese language and we couldn't get out of it. So stay away from the menu. To my left we have some light switches, both for the interior light and for the exterior light. The alcohol lock is down to my left knee, and we have some climate system and the Webasto to my left, the handbrakes, and we also have the transmission. And my favorite button so far in this little bus is the button behind here on the left panel. It's the normal summer or winter button. Winter button, cheerio, Miss Sophie! I don't know if I push the summer now, will it then turn out for sunny and beach weather outside? Now I pushed, I don't see the beach. And if you know, make a comment. On the turning steering wheel behind there, we do have the retarder. To the right, there's also the window wipers. And to the left, it's the blinker and also the high and low beam. And when I lift my eyes up to the roof here, first, very much plastic, but that's even in European buses, so I cannot judge. But look how much of these air ventils we have here, and even in the roof above me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the same on the other side. So it's 5, it's 14 just above my head, and I have 2 here. And what I see now, before I'm starting to drive, I see that the pedals are in the middle of the floor, and I don't like that. I feel already that I'm trying to push yourself a little bit behind. Oh, you can actually take the seat quite far behind, that's good. But I don't like the placements of the pedals. But let's try to adjust the steering wheel a little bit as well. Okay, it's not a lot. Stop there. Okay, so there is not very much you can do here, but there's a manual button down here you can push, and it was quite heavy to adjust. There is some compartments here you can store things, but you also need to figure out how to open them, so we don't. And you can place your cup here. Very good. Other than that, it's not very much space for personal belongings for the driver. There is a compartment behind here, but that stops in the driver's seat. So now it's finally time to take this King Long out on the road. I put it into drive, I release the handbrake, and everything says go in the display. So then I have nothing else to do than give it a go. Now we are on the road and I'm turning the steering wheel. You see, I only use a finger, so it's very light and good steering wheel. I'm surprised by that, but I haven't found any good seating position. I feel I'm feeling like I'm leaning towards the steering wheel. It's too far away from me, but I cannot sit closer because then I will sit with the pedals under my ass and that will feel like standing. And I don't think that's the perfect position to drive. But when I drive here now, I feel like there is a quiet environment in here. The only thing you hear is the fan. Even though I turn off the air condition, it's still our fans running here. I feel actually that the pedals are, even though I don't like the placement, I feel that they are good to use. They are very responsive and they are not too aggressive. We have been driving electric both coaches and buses before. That is too aggressive when you push the throttle. You leave your soul in the back and the bus is just pushing you away. But this one was very nice controlled. And also the brakes is very comfortable. They are slowly braking in and there is no harsh movements. And now I want to check out the retarder and take it down to the first step. It's very efficient directly, not too much. It was a very smooth transmission into that. That was a great feature actually. So I feel like the first impression for me is a very nice drivetrain from King Long. That's a very good thing for sure. But now I see something I don't like at all, because now I looked in the mirror to my left to see if there was anyone in the roundabout, and I don't see 1/3 of the mirror. The mirror is starting up here somewhere and there is no wide angle mirror here, so I don't have any idea what's happening on my side or in this area. And I'm at least not helped by this panel. It feels like I'm on an old ferry when you only had these small rounded windows and you try to look out. Here it feels like I'm a passenger of the bus, because this side window that I'm actually now using, it's for the passengers. And where I want to see, it's a big oh, Mobilize kicking in. And the side window where I want to see, it's not here because it's a big pillar. And then you come to the window that I need to use, and that's very small. And then you have a design solution here, and then you have the last part of the window with some heating. So if anything will freeze, I will also lose this vision. I need more space to look out the window. And also here, I would like to lower it down so I could have more overview. I feel like this side of the front is creating a lot of blind spots. And also to the right, we don't have any wide angle mirror. They only placed a mirror that's probably supposed to show me the front end of the bus, but it just shows Tom that stands to hold the camera in the bus. I just see the person in the front row seat. And I'm also a little bit surprised that this brand new bus from King Long, the Chinese manufacturer, they're always in the technology. They don't provide this bus with digital mirrors. But still, I like the good old-fashioned mirrors. But when I lose the wide-angle mirrors, I'm not comfortable again. So then I think I will be more helped with the digital mirrors and the wide-angle system. I'm really surprised how well this bus drives on the road. It's quiet, it's nice, and now we are in 70 kilometers per hour. It hits the bumps. It is actually very comfortable. But my left knee is now in a direct collision with the handbrake handle. It's exactly where I need to have my left knee. There is no other place I can have it, because then I will crash it with my steering wheel. That's self-turning steering wheel when I'm parking, and now it's also crashing with the handbrake, so that's uncomfortable for me. I will absolutely get annoyed if I was supposed to drive for 10 hours a shift in this bus. Installed in this vehicle, we have the mobile eye, and it's already been beeping me sometimes. It's very sensitive. Every time I touch the yellow stripe, I will get a little ding 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 ding. It's very nice to have a feature that can help you, but I always like the integrated systems that helps you in a more sustainable and nice way. There we have the mobile eye. This bus have only built-in batteries. There is no batteries on the roof in this bus, but you lose, of course, all the capacity of luggage. And Tom will show you all the luggage capacity in the Tech Talk very soon. We don't have the exact data, but we guess about 400 kilowatt hours in this bus, and that gives you a range about 300 kilometers. But one thing we were surprised of, that this bus can actually carry 420 kilos of luggage. And on that little tiny luggage compartment, wow, then I think you need to pack a car or something in that. But that's good, then you at least have more weight to go on. And this bus is registered as a Class 2 bus, and that means that you can have 5 standing passengers in this bus. You might also get it in Class 3, but this one has a Class 2 with 5 standing passengers possible. So this is the passenger compartment of this bus, and when you look at it, it looks actually quite nice. I like the fresh seats, the colors, and you have this skin, very nice side effects here on the fabrics in the middle. So I think it looks very nice. But now I want to try one of the seats, because you have 50 seats on board. Yeah, it is narrow when you sit down. But what I see, you have USB ports in the seat. You have both USB A and C. So that's very nice. And you also have a seat pocket. There is a panel above my head. Here you have some reading lights, very strong. And we can also adjust the fresh air. These felt very, very cheap. This is going to break fast. I can just tell by looking at them. And here it is, the world's smallest armrests. And if you're seated here in the first 2 seat rows, then you don't see a lot to your right, because you have a design panel here. And when we looked outside of the bus, we didn't see any destination box or anything. So it feels like this is only a design part, and I don't see the purpose of it. And I also see that there is 2-3 centimeters from the seat to the window, so you lose a little bit of space. You could have a little bit wider seat somehow, and you can sit more comfortable, but here there is some space in between the seats. On the side wall we have some stop buttons. It's not in the roof here, it's only on the side wall. And now let's see if we can recline the seat. Oh, actually you can. But I'm happy I'm not sitting behind one of those that do this, because that will be narrow for that person. I will check how narrow it will be. The person in front of me will get a good head massage. The seats are on a higher position than the floor, and in the very front of the bus, the middle aisle is actually leaning a little bit, like in the Volvo coaches. But the theater floor stops here in the first third part of the bus, and in the front that will give you a quite high step up to the first seats. Let's take a look in the back. Here I see a problem that we are facing. I'm also a regular bus driver for everyday work, and when I drive perfectly brand new coaches, I need to go around in the seats to actually fix the seat belts. And I see this one here already. It's a demo coach, and it's not in regular service. And here also seatbelts are hanging. And I don't know, is the seatbelt producer getting more lazy now, or what is happening with the seatbelt production? Here as well, another seatbelt is hanging loose. Here we have the middle part of the bus, big middle door, and here you have some seats that you can detach when you are coming in with a wheelchair. So then you have to lift this whole thing out. Yeah, USB chargers, and also you have 230 volts, and even that 230 volt have USB A and C, so you can charge 5 devices for each seat. Perfect. It's getting dark, so you might not see it, but the back seat we need to try out, because you have this extra little step up to come into the back seat. Now I guess that the seat will really collide with my knees, because it's super narrow. Oh yes, this is absolutely horrible. This seat is not suitable for a person that's above 1 meter. That should not happen if you're seated in this seat. And with this said, I think it's time to give the word to Tom. Let's go, Tom's Tech Talk.
We are in the winter wonderland, and behind me I have the brand new King Long. So I want to take a look around, and I will open everything I can open, and I will show you as much as I can. Last time I was looking at the King Long, that's several years ago. It was a little bit boring and square box. Now you have more modern design, more European style, but still I'm not sure if I like this. The lights are a little bit inspired by a dragon eyes. It makes it a little bit modern look. And in front of the bus you have a radar sensor, and you also have a small camera that you can see in the front screen. And this have, as we now call, a classic mirrors. I have opened the door. It's starting good, but when you look inside, it's getting narrower and narrower and narrower. And they even put a garbage trash in the middle of the staircase. I want to show you the luggage capacity. And you have to follow me here, because the first one is the battery pack, number 1. The second one is the luggage that is going all the way to the other side, but it's quite small. It's like, yeah, you can have your suitcase, but not more. The third one, it's even smaller. This is a class 2 bus that is normally driving between cities and just outside the city, into city, etc. And sometimes when I drive a class 2 bus, I have passengers coming with a trolley or a bicycle, and they put it in under the bus. Here you don't have space for anything of that type of size. Here you have the double door, and you also have the wheelchair lift in a type of cassette. You have a charging point, the CCS Type 2, on both sides of the coach. It's in the rear part, but you can charge it from both sides. That's good. Normally I would say this is the heart of the bus. In this part, it's a part of the heart of the bus. You have all the control units for the battery management, and you also have some batteries below. If you can hear this, this is something I like. It's a diesel heater in this coach, so it's not 100% environmentally friendly, but you at least can have a temperature inside that is good. And here you have rest of the heart. Batteries, battery, battery, and batteries. You can also see we have 2 flaps for the luggage compartment. Still, it's too little. I have been talking about the front and the rear. I want to talk about the side of the bus. And you can see it in the first beginning. It starts very good. You have the spoiler going on the roof that's hiding the climate systems. And then in the middle of the bus, it stops. And if you then look a little bit closer, you can see the rear part is a Futura Classic or a Bova or whatever you like. It's exactly the same line. And speaking of design, look at this plastic piece here. I think it will go off when you clean the bus. This bus has some ZF components. The front axle is from ZF, and the rear axle is more or less maintained free, if I read the text correctly. And I have to show you something. This is where you fill up for the window wipers. And if you try to get in here and to fill it up, you need special tool, because there's no space to put the bag or the can to fill up the liquid. As you could see, there's a lot of batteries in this bus, but we still have some battery left. So we close everything and take a short drive more before the light is going out.
After a first impression of this bus, I feel like we are coming into something from the Chinese buses. We still see there is something we need to improve. There is something we laugh a little bit about because the steering wheel is turning while we're standing. I really don't like the placement of the pedals, and there is too much information in the screen, and I have absolutely no view to my left. But there is a very good thing about the Chinese bus manufacturers. They are pushing the rest of the world to start producing electric or at least zero-emission vehicles. I'm not convinced that electrical vehicles are the future for the long run, but at least it is a milestone. And we are now coming very late in Europe with coaches and everything, and the Chinese manufacturers are really pushing those boundaries and pushing the limits also for the European manufacturers and also the rest of the world. When we were in Brazil, in Marco Polo, they just released their first electrical bus as well for the market that they have built all by themselves, an integral version. And we see that the world is following after. So the great thing with the Chinese buses is that they are pushing and leading and trying. They are rather doing it than not. But again, you will find a lot of solutions that is not on point. I'm very surprised about how comfortable this vehicle is to drive, even though I'm not comfortable with this driver solution by the cage, but that's something you probably can order or not. But all in all, nice design outside, it's coming. And speaking of bad vision to my left, now it's fogging all over my side window and I have absolutely no view out this window. So all in all, as a workspace, it's only the driver comfort here that is very good. I'm not satisfied with so many other things. The adjustments of the steering wheel, the placements of the pedals, the driver's seat, here we have a lot of improvements to make. So now we are back at the parking after a quick little test drive here, and of course normally when we are doing test drives we are having the vehicles a day or two or even more. Now we only had a couple of hours, but still we got some good views of how this bus were reacting on the road. Some good things, some maybe things to improve. Let's see how King Long will do it for the future. If you like what you see, click down here. The button is called subscribe. Then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely and have a great day.